and welcome to The Absurdist. I'm Sarah Painter, a journalist quarantined in New Jersey.
And I'm Hattie Eshelman, an artist and metalsmith in my Virginia studio. And this is The Absurdist, a podcast where we find strange and interesting facts and possibly fictions, and we tell them to you and let you be inspired and maybe unsettled by them.
Ooh, possibly fictions. What does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, who knows what's real and what's not real? You know?
That's fair.
Like, we can read all these articles and who knows? Maybe this is all fiction. Maybe we don't actually exist.
Oh.
So, reality is a very tenuous substance.
Wow. Well, diving right in here. On today's episode, we have mannequins at a baseball game.
Oh. An unsettling 16th century fashion item.
A police department in Maryland pleading with its citizens.
Ants on stilts.
And, Indian traffic control directors have a new outfit.
Oh, I'm curious to hear about that. And we also have a rare and exotic version of one of our favorite fruits.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm excited.
Fun. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Okay. So, Hattie, I guess I will start off with sharing what I found. Does that sound good?
Sounds great. I would love to hear it.
Okay. Well, you know, with the coronavirus going around, a lot of things have been canceled. You know, not just restaurants and, prom, but also baseball, which I know to you and me does not change our lives at all. But
true.
A lot of people, sorry, that's my dog.
Oliver.
There's a lot
Tell him I said hi.
There's a lot of people who really care about baseball, not only in America, but also in Taiwan. And
okay.
Yeah, so America has canceled its baseball season, although now there's some discussion about maybe they'll hold it in, like, Arizona or something without any fans. They'll just, all get together and play games and televise it. So there's some, discussion about what's going on with that. But in Taiwan, they're doing something a little different. They are hosting their games to be televised, but in the stands, they have mannequins and cardboard cutouts to replace the fans, and robots, too.
Robots?
Yeah. I'm going to send this to you right now.
So they're populating the stands with, a menagerie of random, semi-human inanimate objects.
Yes, that's correct. And I just thought that was wonderfully bizarre.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible. Wow. Because when you said mannequins, I was kind of picturing, just uniformity, just, a ton of the same, plastic mannequin. But they're just,
They're all dressed in different outfits with different, wigs, haircuts, ways that they're positioning their body. Somebody put so much work into this.
That's incredible. It's like a whole installation art piece.
Yeah, totally. And, they're all, in their team colors, and so the robots, I'll send you a picture of the robots. They're playing drums for the baseball players. Yeah.
Of course they are. Are they actively playing drums? Are they robots that are programmed to play drums?
That's a really good question. I think they literally play the drums.
Wow. And I guess the women standing in front of them are cardboard cutouts.
No.
No, those are actual people.
So the women standing in front, the cheerleaders were deemed essential to this.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
the cheerleaders are there, the players are there, the umpire is there, I assume. And then you've got the robots, the mannequins, and the cardboard cutouts.
Wow.
Yeah. And
What
so,
a time.
yeah, I found that on Sky News, and I thought that was pretty strange. But in a
That is so strange.
delightfully whimsical way.
Yes.
And I really want to know who puts this together.
Yes.
Whose job was this?
Right. Who is it that's putting hats on mannequins
Yeah.
and, like, picking out outfits and baseball jerseys?
And, like, this one mannequin is wearing, like, a, sort of, like, Wendy's sort of wig, you know?
The red hair braids, like Wendy's or, like, Pippi Longstocking,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
without the wires
Because it's, like, more
that curl,
orange. Yeah.
you know?
It's very interesting. I like it a lot.
That's pretty phenomenal.
I think they should keep them there for, you know, if they're ever not sold out, they can, like, fill it up a little bit more.
I'm picturing, like, a movie scene where someone's sitting watching baseball, and then they're, like, sitting next to them is just, like, a mannequin.
Oh my gosh.
Because all the seats weren't filled, so they, like, put mannequins in the seats that weren't sold, and halfway, like, at first he's really uncomfortable, but then halfway through the game, he, like, offers his popcorn to the mannequin. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, totally.
That's funny.
So yeah, that's what I have to share.
Wow. That's hilarious. I'm glad that I know that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
A much better alternative than just canceling games and having everyone be sad and not being able to watch sports on TV. So cool. Well, do you want to hear my first
I do.
fact?
Mm-hmm.
It's also one that's quarantine relevant.
Got it.
However, as is one of my favorite things to do here, it's very old.
Ooh.
So I'm going to take
Yay.
us back to something not quite ancient. We're talking more like 16th century,
Ooh,
16th,
can I guess?
17th century. Yes.
Is this about, like a book that was written during a quarantine?
No.
Okay.
Although that sounds fun.
Because I read something about that, but go ahead.
Okay, cool. So it's an unsettling 16th century fashion item.
Ooh.
And paralleled by a contemporary COVID-related fashion item, and that is masks.
Oh.
So obviously masks are very relevant these days.
Mm-hmm.
They are running out of like medical masks, and people are making their own. And I have one that I made, and you've been making them too, I think, right?
Yep.
So we have like all of now. Whenever you go out, there are a bunch of people wearing these like cloth masks, and so that's an interesting thing about 2020 and an interesting thing about American culture.
Yeah.
That's new. So something very old, however, is a mask from the Elizabethan age. So, like I said, 16th, 17th century, during the reign of Elizabeth I. And it's called a vizard. V-I-S-A-R-D. And its purpose, primarily, was to protect from sunburn. Because the high-class ladies had paler skin to show that they didn't work outside.
Got it.
And so they made these masks that were designed to protect from sunburn. However, these things are so creepy. They're so weird. So it's a black mask. It's made out of black velvet. The outside is black velvet. The structure of it, I think, was made from paper. And then the inside was lined with silk.
Oh, wow.
And it just had, like, 2 holes for the eyes.
Wow.
No nose. And, like, a tiny slit for the mouth. But it pretty much just looks
so
like
creepy.
a black void with eye holes.
Oh, my gosh.
And
I'm terrified.
to make it even creepier, It wasn't held on by, like, a strap that went around the back of the head, because that would be unsightly. It was held on by a glass bead, which the wearer would hold between their teeth.
Oh, that is creepy. Then you can't talk.
Exactly. So the primary function was to prevent from sunburn. But a secondary bonus function was that it prevented the wearer from talking, which was an ideal thing, so that, women should be seen and not heard.
Apparently.
And it's more, there was here's a quote that was, "The mask's prevention of speech was deliberate, intended to heighten the mystery of a masked woman even further."
Wow.
So I think that was from a book that was written. I would have to double check the source on that, but that was a really interesting thing, that it was like heightened the mystery. And another really interesting thing about this was there was another book that mentioned it, and this was actually contemporary to the time. So this book was called The Anatomy of Abuses, written by Philip Stubbs in 1583. And this was just like his list of things at the time, like popular culture, basically, that he was condemning as being immoral or in need of some sort of reform.
Yeah.
And so he talks about this, like, broad range of things, from, like, theater to just, like, social practices and, like, and he talks about vizards.
Wow.
And the quote from his book about the vizard is, "When they used to ride abroad, they have visors made of velvet, wherewith they cover all their faces, having holes made in them against their eyes, whereout they look, so that if a man that knew not their guise before should chance to meet one of them, he would think he met a monster or a devil. For a face he can see none, but two broad holes against her eyes with glasses in them." So even contemporary people were
now hold up
pretty terrified.
With glasses in them, so it was like,
yeah, I guess in that case they must have been,
like, little
the woman
windows.
must have been wearing glasses. Yeah, I'm not sure. The pictures of these masks, it's just like this velvet
there's not like
thing. But it is quite strange.
I'll
send you a picture.
I would love to be a terrifying masked woman.
Yes.
But, there are like two-way, feminist implications here.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
that is terrifying.
Isn't that terrifying?
I really like it. Because it's fun for a woman to be terrifying.
Yeah.
But if she can't talk, what's the point?
Right. Right. And just the whole concept that socially you were supposed to, it was socially, like, preferable to not speak as a woman.
And
like,
that's
that in and of itself is horrifying.
And that's not
Probably
even
more so.
Yeah, that's not even considering the very basis of the need for this thing, which is that light skin is better because it means you don't work outside. So there are a lot of implications there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love how creepy it is. I wish we could be creepy for the purpose of being creepy and not for the purpose of being sexist, That's everywhere you turn, man. You just want to be creepy.
You should just, like, relish the creepiness for its own sake and not because of any relation to gender roles.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Thank you for sharing.
And
I really like this picture that you sent too.
Isn't it so creepy? I love it.
I like how in the mask, because this picture shows it like on a woman, and from the eye hole, it looks like almost like she has like black like tears coming out, or like it looks even creepier than the mask probably is. They're just like adding it for dramatic effect.
Yeah. It looks like she's bleeding out of her eye. It's just like these dark voids.
I love it.
Like, that's pretty funny. So, and the quote, I found the book. The quote is from Stewart and Knox, a book called The Mask of Venice.
Okay.
So that was the quote that said that the not talking was intentional.
Got it.
So
there
you have it. Ancient artifact.
Thank you for sharing. I've got a quick fun fact for you.
Okay, great.
Tannytown, Maryland. The police department there has issued a pleading, I think, Facebook post. A Facebook post that says, "Please remember to put pants on before leaving the house to check your mailbox. You know who you are. This is your final warning."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I found this on Huffington Post.
That's perfect.
And apparently the police have gone... So the journalists went around to try to figure out who this nude person was. And nobody knew who it was, but I guess the culprit knows who they are.
They know who they are.
So, yeah.
Wow. Everything about this story is incredible. Every detail. Down to reporters, going around, probably driving around neighborhoods, just hoping to see someone go to get their mail without their pants on.
Well, probably, as a journalist, I would say, I'd go out to see what neighbors are out and shout out my car window to them because we're social distancing, "Hey there, have you seen any people without pants on?"
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know who you are. This is your final warning. What's gonna happen if they continue to fail to comply with this?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I hope that there are updates.
Yeah. A misdemeanor charge or a fine of some kind. Wow, that's so wonderful. It just sounds wow, that's It needs no further explanation. It is completely wrapped up.
So
Everything
with that,
you need to know.
I will ask for your next story.
All right, sounds good. My next story doesn't exactly have to do with pants.
Okay.
Trying to think of a way to tie this on. My next story is about ants on stilts.
Aww.
Yes. So this is based on a study done in 2006 with desert ants, Saharan desert ants specifically. Mm-hmm. And so as you might know, most normal run-of-the-mill non-desert ants use chemical scent trails to navigate.
Yeah.
And so if you have some sugar on your counter and one ant finds it, it will drag its little scent trail and it'll tell all of its friends exactly where that sugar water is because they just smell a little trail, follow it. But scientists were wondering about these desert ants because they're you can't really do that in a desert because if the wind blows, the sand would blow away. This is my speculation. It didn't say anything about that. But little trickier when sand is involved.
Right.
And so desert ants don't use scent trails. And so scientists were trying to figure out how the ants knew where they were going. Because you also couldn't use landmarks because it's the desert.
Right.
And they found that the ants don't seem to use landmarks. Which, as our token honeybee fact for the day, honeybees do use landmarks to navigate. So that's interesting.
Okay.
So that's our token honeybee fact for the day because we try and keep bees in our every episode. I don't think we actually do that, but
we kind
nevertheless.
I don't know. Most episodes feels like
it's been fairly consistent.
Yeah.
It's been fairly consistent. So the scientists were trying to figure out how the ants knew how to get back to their hive. And so they put a food source out and showed the ants where it was, and they went back to their hive. And so the ants knew where the food source was and how far away their hive was, somehow. And so then the scientists decided to add stilts to the ants.
Oh.
So they took like a section of the ants and they glued like the tiniest like hairs of pig bristles onto their legs to give them stilts to make their legs longer.
Oh my gosh.
And so they found that the ants walked past their hive. And so so like once their legs were longer, they walked too far.
Yeah.
Which
so they
confirmed their hypothesis. Yeah, that the ants have this like internal odometer that tells them how far they've gone.
Huh.
And a lot of people use this to say like, oh, the ants are literally counting.
Yeah.
Most likely the ants are not literally counting. Most likely it's just this internal thing that just functions well. Mm-hmm. Which actually, there was another study done that showed that humans function in the same way. Like, if you were suddenly 3 inches taller, you probably would accidentally walk farther than you meant to, and you'd have, like, less a sense of how far you had gone.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it's more a sense of, like, having a knowledge of how big your body is and, like physical
what
space.
It takes, yeah.
Yeah, but it just was really fascinating. And they had ants on stilts, which is just funny to me.
It is funny. I hope they're okay.
They are. I mean, they seem like they are. They also, this is another thing that, and this part actually, like, did distress me. But to have the experiment be thorough, they had ants on stilts, and then they also had a group of ants that they, like, amputated just below the knee.
No.
So they shortened their legs. And that made me very upset because I was like, that sounds terrible.
Well, did those ones not go far enough?
Yes, correct.
Wow.
Those ones didn't go far enough. But the interesting thing to me about that part of the experiment is that the ants with the amputated legs, like, they didn't seem to, like, be impeded in any other way. Because, like, obviously if you cut us off below the knee, we wouldn't be able to walk at all. We'd just be like, we would just bleed out and die. But the ants are like, okay, time to go back to my hive. And then they're like, oh, I must be there by now, but it's not here. But they seemed unbothered by having their legs cut off. So that in and of itself is very strange to me. Like, how do insects even work? But, and then they also found... The scientists found that once, after a day of their new legs, whether pig bristled stilts or shortened legs, they actually adapted and their internal pedometer like reset, and then they knew how to find the food because they knew how big their body was after getting used to it for like a day.
So when I was in 3rd grade, my this is related. My teacher assigned us that we all had to pick an animal and make it into a puppet and research it and then present it with the puppet. And I chose ants, and I made actually like a what's a marionette of an ant, and it was really creepy and fun. And
that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, and I had so much fun doing the project, and I just thought ants were amazing because, like, I was like, oh my gosh, they're so intelligent. I was like, these are intelligent beings. They have to be respected. And so then I went through this very intense phase where where I was basically an ant advocate, and anybody dared to step on an ant. No! Yeah, I really had a passion for ants for a while there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I love that story so much. That's kind of me. That's how I feel about spiders.
Yeah.
I feel very passionate about protecting the lives of spiders.
I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
This is like kind of getting off base, but I saw a video this week of and I'll preface this. Well, okay, I'll just tell you after. But I saw a video this week of like somebody put a mirror down in front of a spider, and it like stopped and it like raised one arm and like saw that the other arm raised, in the mirror, and it looked like it recognized itself, and it was like, oh my gosh, that's me. I looked it up, and like I don't know, from what I could tell, spiders don't have, like, mirror recognition. Because I was surprised by that, because that's, like, a real sign of intelligence. Like, in my, stint as a psych major, that's, like, a milestone for, like, babies and stuff,
Yeah.
So I was like, what? Maybe this was just a really smart spider, or maybe it didn't really recognize itself, but I really felt like it did.
It probably did. I'm going to give this spider full credit for recognizing itself.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. Insects are great.
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
Except for the insects that end up in my room.
Yeah, or the ones that kill the trees.
Yeah.
Which ones end up in your room?
There was a tick in my room. Did I tell you that?
Ugh. No, you didn't tell me that.
I freaked out. It was so scary.
Ugh.
Anyway.
I found a tick the other day, too.
I had never seen a tick in real life before. Can you believe that?
Before, like, recently?
Yeah.
What? That's insanity. Wow.
I had just seen pictures of them, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to know what ticks look like so I don't get Lyme's disease. So I memorized it, and then I knew when I saw it, but I had never seen one before.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so funny how different our experiences can be of you growing up in New Jersey and me growing up in Central Virginia, because ticks are a very common part of my life. And, like, the worst thing is when they get on a dog, because, like, I did a lot of dog sitting or cat sitting, and when they get on dogs, like, the dogs can't pick them off, and so they get so huge, and then you have to pull them up, and they look like a little black bean, because they're just, like, massive and swole. It's so gross.
Ew.
Yeah, so, but I also know a lot, I mean, a decently large percentage of people who I know personally have some kind of, like, dietary restriction because of it.
Yeah.
Lyme's disease or some other, like, alpha-gal or tick thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Craziness.
Wow. Well, my next story is a little, I don't know, it has to do with gross things, but in a kind of, like, cute, fun, whimsical way.
Okay, that sounds like right up our alley.
Yeah, so we've talked actually about, like, traffic in India before, right?
Yes, with bees and elephants. Right?
Oh, yeah. Was that? I guess that was. I was thinking of, wasn't there something where, like, if you honked, then the red light would last longer?
Oh, we did talk about that too.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
Yeah. The police officers in one city in India are wearing virus-themed helmets
oh my gosh.
to raise awareness of COVID-19. They're like huge pink biker helmets with spikes on them. Yeah, I'm gonna send you a picture. I love them so much.
Love them. Oh my gosh.
Okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. And they're riding horses,
yeah,
too.
They're riding horses.
I hadn't considered that to be...
Yeah. Okay, and I've got one more picture to send you.
This is so wonderfully...
I know.
This is so wonderfully bizarre.
It's, like, so whimsical.
It is.
Yeah. India is on lockdown, last I knew, and it's just meant to, I mean, it's really big, actually. I'm going to send you another picture for scale. Like, from spike top to spike on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
It, like, goes from, like, I don't know, it's probably, how many...
It's like an entire adult man's torso, and then some.
Yeah, and then some.
Because it's like the picture, there's one picture of the person who's taking the picture is standing next to the horse and looking up at the person, and he looks a little bit like an anime character in the sense that, like, the helmet makes his head so much bigger than his body.
Yeah, right. I love it.
It just looks so, like, futuristic / fictional. This is what I'm saying. Like, fictional, question mark? Everything is fiction.
And I also like, there's like a grunge variation on it. Do you see this with the motorcycles?
Yeah.
There's also policemen on motorcycles that have, like, sort of a grunge variation. You should look it up, listeners.
I see it.
I found this on Fox News. And we'll have, actually,
show notes.
We'll have show notes and pictures. But, yeah, this is wonderfully whimsical, and, you know, I hope it helps raise awareness. I think everyone's aware, but I still like it.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I love that this is the reality that we live in. Wow.
Do you think that the policemen, like, just have, like, a sense of humor in this town? They're like, I don't know. Whose idea do you think this was?
That's such a good question. That's such a good question. Like, how do they feel about it? Like, are they excited and they're, like, having fun and they're, like, wearing their big coronavirus helmet? Or are they like, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. Why is our boss making us wear these stupid things? It's hot. It's sweaty. It's heavy.
So
like,
embarrassed.
I don't want this. Like, yeah, so embarrassed. Like, don't look at me.
Gotta go to work, honey. And, like, picks up his huge helmet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would really like to know how they feel. Although most likely, like, some of them are about it and some of them are not about it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because that's how things go.
That is
like,
how things go.
There's always that one kid who's super excited for the science test.
Yeah.
And is gonna, like, ace it.
Right.
And everyone else is like, please no.
Right.
I don't know why that's the example that I came up
well,
with. Because
it actually gave me an idea for my bizarre or banal. But before we get into that, I want to hear about your last story.
Yes. So my last story is just a quick and interesting little thing. And that is a rare and exotic version of our favorite fruit.
Ooh.
Potentially. I don't know. What is your favorite fruit?
It changes a lot. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Today?
Well, today I had raspberry lemon scones, and
oh, that sounds
I like raspberries, but I also really like mangoes. What fruit? Remind me, because I might be forgetting my favorite fruit.
That's funny. I also really like mangoes. When I was thinking about this, I was like, what is my favorite fruit? And I was like, mangoes are really wonderful. So I like that you said mangoes.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, this is just like such a staple.
Okay.
And that is the apple. I love apples.
Oh.
They're crunchy. They're sweet. They're like fresh. Apples are just, I love apples.
Apples are good.
Yeah. So there is a kind of apple called a black diamond apple. And it only grows in Tibet at an elevation of over 10,000 feet.
Why is Tibet so magical?
I don't even know. We could do a whole episode just on, like, interesting things about Tibet, because...
We could do a whole podcast on it, probably.
Seriously.
Like series, yeah.
Yeah.
But continue.
Yes. So these black diamond apples are extremely rare, obviously, since they only grow in Tibet. But they also... Apparently, regular apple trees take, like, 2 to 5 years to mature. So you get, like, a new apple crop every 2 to 5 years. These take 8 years. Oh. So it's even longer. But the apples themselves are, like, dark. They almost look black. They're actually, like, a dark purple. And so they're these, like, deep purple color. And apparently someone once said that they were as beautiful as a diamond, which is where they got their name, because it's like this black, shiny object. And they can only be found in a select number of high-end supermarkets in places like Beijing and Shanghai. They cost about $7 US per apple because they're so rare.
Wow.
So they're usually sold in these, like, gift packs of 6 to 8, which cost like about $50 US, and they're in this like white satin packaging. Yeah. So I couldn't find a source that confirmed this, but allegedly they're supposed to taste sweeter than honey and be like extremely crisp. So That is the newest in exotic fruits that
Wow.
I want to try sometime.
That is
But
interesting.
obviously, you can only get them in Tibet or Shanghai. So
We'll have to go
next
there.
time around, I'll have to.
Yeah.
Next time I'm in Shanghai, I'll have to pick some up and try them.
Yeah.
But
Well,
very interesting.
thank you for sharing.
Absolutely. You said you had a memory from
Yeah.
your bizarre and banal.
Yeah, so we're going into our bizarre or banal segment where we share bizarre or banal stories from our own lives. I think this goes more on the banal side. It's more of like a kind of story. You know what I mean? Like, Yeah. So I work really hard on my articles. Usually writing them, there's a really good quote that's like, oh yeah, writing is easy. All you have to do is sit down at the keyboard and bleed or something,
Yeah.
I don't remember who said that but that's how I feel. Like every single day I just feel like all day until like eventually something comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I work really hard on my articles and I think so hard about the words that I use to like try to make sure they're accurate and fair and I really do my best as a journalist, which like all the journalists that I know take their jobs really seriously. I know there are journalists out there who don't, but I am very fortunate to be in the circle of like journalists coming out of Columbia, which is a great program and like instills a sense of like this is really important, and so we all take it really seriously, but and I have to appreciate that there's just a side I don't know. Sorry, I'm like meandering around this, but
No.
there are a lot of unfair stories out there, and like I don't know the people who are writing them.
Yeah.
Anyway, people really distrust the media, quote
Yeah.
unquote, the media, as if there is
Yeah.
a single media, and
A single nefarious entity.
yeah, and I get a lot of people tweeting at me. I mean, so like I don't read the comments on my articles anymore because I get like thousands of comments, and I started off like reading them, and it just doesn't help anybody,
Right.
because it's not like I can comment back. That would just look pathetic, but if people tweet at me, I feel like I can tweet back to them. You don't throw pearls before swine, so like you're not gonna like interact with everybody that's just, if they're just trolling you or whatever, but this week this guy screenshotted an article that I wrote and then put in quotation marks in his tweet a quote of something I didn't write, and then wrote lies, like something like this is the like media again, like blah blah blah.
Oh my gosh.
And I tweeted back at him and I was like, I don't remember that quote in the article. Where did you find it from? And he was like, fair enough, the quote was inaccurate, but but I still think the like general idea is like not true. And I was,
Oh my gosh.
and I got so many proverbs on my mind just from being a journalist. My real takeaway from my Twitter interactions is a gentle word turns away wrath.
Oh yeah.
Because it's so easy, and sometimes I fail. But I have had so many instances of a person coming at me angry and me hearing them out and saying, like, thank you for sharing. I understand where you're coming from. Here's where I'm coming from. And then they're like, oh, okay, I understand that. It's like they forget that there's a person,
Oh yeah.
like
For sure.
being a journalist is like so dehumanizing because like people see you as like a cog in the media when like I'm a person and I'm trying really hard to present factual, helpful information, you know? It totally doesn't hurt my feelings when people, like, tweet mean things at me, but, like, it totally doesn't. Like, I think it's kind of funny. But it is also, like, I wish there was something that I could do that, I don't know, like, fix the atmosphere where people have to feel so defensive, you know? And I guess all I can do is, like, keep interacting with people when they chat. Because I think people don't expect me to respond, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, I've had, like, some success, like, tweeting back at people and just being like, I don't know about that. And, usually they're like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of my story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's all you can do is just continue to not respond in anger, because that's what people
Yeah.
want. Like, they want to bait you, and
Right.
they want to channel this, like, negative energy that they have into a safer, what they perceive as, like, a safer space, because the internet, like, is this thing that we all hide behind.
Yeah.
And so just remembering, like, there is a person on the other side of this. Yeah.
But not to be, like, actually, I'm going to add some more to this story.
Yeah.
I should tell a story of my failure so that it doesn't seem like I'm this, you know, high and mighty, perfect, wonderful being. Recently, someone commented on one of my articles criticizing one of my coworkers. And
Did you go a little mama bear on them?
Yeah, I did. I don't even know my coworker that well. It's not even...
Sarah's like, don't you touch them!
But I actually feel like I made a friend then, you know, because then she messaged me and she was like, thanks for standing up for me. I usually just ignore people like that. And I was like, I know, but yeah. Yeah. I think there was something else I was going to add, but I don't know. That's it for now.
Yeah. Very nice.
Oh, I remember. This is hilarious, actually.
Okay.
When my family members hear that, like, I'll be like, oh, this person called me the fake liberal news media, like, haha, again. Like, that's not even news, but I don't know, like, what I would, you know. But my grandpa, like, was, like, really concerned about that. And when he, like, calls me, he's like, has anyone on the internet said anything mean to you recently? And recently, also, I was telling my brother about, I mentioned something about, like, anxiety in a tweet.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I've overcome a lot of, like, work-related anxiety this year. And he was like, oh, you know, when I was a kid, like, we just had to suck it up and go to work. You know, like, I don't know. And I told my brother, because I thought it was funny, and he got really upset for me. He went a little mama bear. And he was like, I'm going to make a Twitter account and troll this guy. And I was like, Andrew, don't. Like,
you don't need to do that.
I promise that I can handle criticism better than this guy, because it's part of my, you know, like, like, you're gonna truly hurt his feelings and upset him, and, like, who knows who this guy is. But anyway, Andrew made this fake account, allegedly with the purpose of trolling the people who are mean to me. But then he ended up just trolling me.
Nice.
And
as a good brother would.
I just think that's the epitome of what it means to have a brother. Like, he's protective.
So
like, no one's allowed to hurt my sibling except me.
Except me.
Not that it hurts,
my gosh.
but yeah, it's really funny. And actually, I kind of like it. Because my brother and I have gotten, like, really a lot closer the past couple of years, and it used to be that I, like, felt like I couldn't post on social media some of the things that I thought and felt, because I was like, oh, my family will see it. But actually, and so when he said, I'm gonna, like, look at your Twitter, I was like, no, don't.
Don't look at my Twitter.
It was, like, my gut reaction.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, actually, I think there's nothing on there that would make him hate me, and I don't know. Like, we've both toned down a lot. We were very intense, and We actually get along quite well. So,
Aww.
yeah. Little
Brother.
heartwarming brother story.
I love it.
Yeah.
Very nice. I also have an interwebs / media related bizarre, banal thing.
Yeah.
And I think this is perfect. I'm so glad that we call this segment Bizarre Banal
Yeah.
because this is also the kind of thing where, like, I can't tell if this is weird or not. Like, it seems weird to me, but that just might be me being, like, out of the loop in some way. I don't know. So, I guess to, like, set it up a little... So, obviously this is a very strange time historically. Like, everyone's wearing these masks.
Right.
Like, instead of referring to it as, like, this virus or, like, this quarantine, I've been just, like, referring to it as the apocalypse, like, just because that seems, like, more fun. So I was like, oh, yeah, like, it's the future. It's 2020. I keep talking about how it's the future.
Yep.
It's 2020. It's the apocalypse. And maybe this is something that I'm only, like, just now noticing because it feels more relevant. Like, it might be something that's, like, been a thing before. But obviously Instagram gives you ads. So you have, like, the people you're following, and then you'll get these ads for, like, whatever Instagram thinks might interest you.
Right.
And recently I've been getting a lot of ads for, like, very post-apocalyptic looking, like, clothing brands.
Ooh.
And so it would be like, I saw this one, and this is the one that just made me stop, and I was like, what is this? What's going on here? And it's like this leather, like, arm strap. Like, it's just, like, the article of clothing that you would purchase is just a sleeve. Like, it's this leather sleeve, and I'm going to send you a picture of the screenshot so you can see it. But, so, like, that in and of itself is, like, it looked kind of, like, steampunky and edgy and, like, interesting, which, like, that's cool. I love that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the thing that struck me the most was the caption under it, because it was, like, completely normal. It's, like, someone saying, like, oh, I love everything I've gotten from here, like, fits well, like, good quality, like, ships quickly. And I was like, what? There's, like, no acknowledgement.
Bizarre.
I know.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't that so weird?
Also, this is so perfect for you. Like, that they would advertise this to you.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It might just be a testament to how weird I am as a person.
Yeah.
And Instagram knows that. And they're like, here's this really weird fringe, like, fashion store that we think you'd like. So,
yeah,
I just thought that
the
was
quote
weird
makes it
and
great.
funny.
It says,
Yeah.
I love all the things I've gotten from this store. Such unique and awesome pieces. I got a lot of compliments on my outfits from Marigold Shadows.
It's just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that acknowledges, like, oh yes, perfect for killing zombies and moving into the apocalypse that we know we're all living in.
Yeah.
So I've been getting a lot of Instagram ads for, like, weird, very post-apocalyptic clothing that doesn't necessarily acknowledge that it's post-apocalyptic clothing. Also a lot of jumpsuits.
Yes, totally.
So I guess that's just, like, a thing right now.
I've been thinking about, like, how the pandemic is going to influence different sectors of our lives. And today, as I was doing laundry, I was like, I wonder how this is going to impact the fashion of the, like, of this decade. You know?
Right?
I think that one factor to consider is the comfort factor, because we're all wearing very comfy clothes and buying comfy clothes right now, so then we're going to have them after this.
We might have higher standards for our like, business casual. Like, we want it to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. And, you know, there's also, like, this dystopian aspect to consider that could influence things.
Yes.
There's also sewing skills to consider. Maybe we'll see more homemade things. I was thinking that. Like, I was like, I would love to make my own clothes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah. Homemade or even, like, home altered.
Yeah, well...
Like, if you have something that's not quite what you want.
You are already the queen of that. Like, you can just, turn any old thing into a piece of art.
Oh, shucks.
Well...
I do.
I think that we are coming to the close of our time.
Yes.
listeners, if you would like to get in touch, we can be contacted at contact@the-absurdistpodcast.com.
Yes.
We hope you have a strange week.
Yes. Strange and fascinating and delightful.
Yes. Please email us and let us know about the strange things in your life.
Yes. If there's anything you want us to talk about, or if you have a story for us, or if you just want to say hi.
Yeah.
Get in touch.
Yeah.
So this has been the Absurdist Podcast. I'm Hattie Eshelman.
I'm Sarah Painter, and our producer is Ryan Care. Ryan Care Media.
Ryan Care Media, LLC. So thank you all for listening, and we will catch you later. Bye.
Bye.